सेकंड में ऑर्डर कर। अशरीरी, विदेही,
Good morning and a warm welcome, everyone. I hope the sound is clear and translation is working well. If you have any queries about recordings, just let us know.
Sound is very good.
Great. I was reflecting on this statement, the best things in life are free. How much we love our technology, gadgets, applications. But these experiences are like the best possible application you could ever dream of. And even the devices like Google Glasses, they're not necessarily good for your eyes, but this vision, this spiritual sight is very good for your eyes. And you won't get accused of spying on anyone. You're seeing the best in everyone else. And there's no fee, and you don't need electricity. And it protects you from subtle viruses, organizes your mind. And the more you use it, the more it gets upgraded and you discover what is possible. And incredible that we have this constant option to use the best possible application, and that it's healthy for the planet, and also brings you close to God, and that's how He sees. I'm sure there are many other elements of this application you might like to suggest. So warm welcome and looking forward to this last session of this yoga festival weekend of spiritual experiences. And if your questions were not answered and don't get answered today, we'll be putting a recording in the G Drive for any remaining reflections. So thank you and welcome to Prashant.
Thank you. Yeah, a nice word, the festival. And let us create another few moments of Anubhuti. And simple program for us. We use the best intellect. We already have it. We have the option to use it. We use the best sight. That is the spiritual sight. And we use the light, the best light. And now we are able to see the way God sees. It's a game of a second. Big success in this is you are seeing the perspective from the soul. And the entire physical world becomes like a small story. It is not a metaphor for the awake soul, it is story. All that we hear in the movies is this is a story and it's a drama. It is a fixed drama. It has got a script, no different to any other story. This is such a powerful positioning because mind is now free from these cyclical thoughts of the petty things. But now you are seeing them as petty. They are major things for the ego, but for the soul, they are petty. And you are able to go beyond the whole thing. You are aware of it, you are not suppressing, you know everything, but you can put a full stop. And beyond the story is reality. Your home, your world, your family. True family. This is the family of souls. All belong to this. All means all. We can't exclude anybody. And they are all noble and all worthy of love. We are not getting caught into few, which is like a global, unlimited. Home is unlimited, your treasures are unlimited. You need nothing from that story. Not even a preference. That is also desire. Some kind of expectation is also desire. The awake soul is free from the knowledge of desire. The expression Baba uses, Ichha matram avidya, ignorance of knowledge of desire. It means connected with the story, he needs nothing. And if there are no desires, there are no disappointments. The whole department of Ravan revolves around needs and greeds. It is unlimited. So many things he needs, and there are desperations in Ravan. Ravan can never be content. That mindset is that you come in this space of the soul. Soul has freedom from that whole story. And beyond, this world is timeless, endless, changeless. He needs nothing, but the world is forever. That's why he feels he has got the best already. He doesn't need to ask anything. Awake soul means this. He feels he has got the best home, supreme home, the best family, the best father, God, best treasures, most refined treasures, ultimate treasures of contentment, bliss, peace, security, immortality. So he is Ichha Matram Avidya, ignorant of the word desire. One who is ignorant of desire is also ignorant of sorrow. During the seconds, minutes, you are awake. Life is this. Everything is good, everyone is good. He feels the sky is the supreme sky, but story is also a great story. He has no complaint about anything. In a story, a dragon comes and a camel comes. They are all great characters. In the Iron Age, you will get Iron Age plots. So he has no complaints. Anyone who feels during the seconds, minutes, you feel everyone is good and everything is good everywhere. That person knows the bliss of the soul. Bliss is this. There is no undercurrent of anything. And whether it is past or future, there is nothing to worry about, nothing to complain about. This is the easy life. Silently, the awake soul knows he is worthy. The whole worthy at many levels, but worthy to be loved by God. If there is mind that is free from ego, free from desires, free from sorrows, free from vice. If one is free from this story, it makes you free from the whole department of Ravan, free from ignorance and free from Ravan. Of course, he is worthy to be loved by God. He doesn't need to, have yoga, try to remember. He knows this is his reality. The step that is necessary, all that we have done, use the best sight and best head and the best light. Everything else follows. One big thing for all of us is the experience. And even amongst those who study the lessons, how to come in the experience, spiritual experiences. And so the obstacle for all of us at all levels is the ego. Ego is the obstacle for everyone, whether it is some president of any country or your neighbor or for you and a spiritual student. The big challenge is ego. It is his enemy. Ego is his own enemy. It may create problem to others, but problem to himself. And so as a student, a spiritual student, ego will come. And now he will adapt, adapt as a spiritual effort maker. If you are in the military, ego will come based on your rank, and how many stripes you got. If you are in the university, ego will adapt. You will say, look at this, how many papers you have published. Based on that, it will create ego. So you come here, spiritual organization, gathering, ego will come, ego will adapt. It is not, it will try to adapt. No, it definitely will adapt. And it will come, I'm a spiritual effort maker. So that is one, spiritual effort maker is still at the level of drama. And that prevents you from being the soul. So if you are not seeing this, then you stay in that camp of, I am the spiritual effort maker. And I am the one who is very virtuous. I am the one who makes, more time for meditation. All of this is right. We have to be virtuous. We have to be making good effort. We have to be punctual. We have to study, understand knowledge properly. But we don't need to give it all to ego. But ego will be waiting. Anyone has noticed this? Anyone has got ego like this? Rarely. Have you noticed sometimes? Good to observe. If there is a robber, and if you are not seeing him, he will create more problems. If you see the robber, then the robber doesn't create problems. So also here, we need to observe this ego adapting. And that you feel as if that is the destination, that I am Prashant, and Prashant is so good effort maker, and that appears to be the destination. But that becomes obstacle that prevents the soul from waking up. That is not the destination. Destination is a little bit lateral. We have to get the soul and help him become conscious. Because if the soul wakes up, then the experiences will follow. If it is ego-based effort, then it will not lead to the spiritual experiences. They will be ego-based experiences. You are happy because someone said nice things and someone praised your efforts, something like this. Then you are happy. Not super sensuous experiences. So I will write some. I will use our famous sketch, if it is okay. So what we have seen so far, that even though we are talking, try and let us stay in that. Paras is a big help for us to stay in that alokik dimension. And so let us hear it also from that position. We saw on the very first day, on Friday, that there is this blackout. There is a dimension which is in blackout. Imagine half of your city is in blackout and you can't go to that city. You've got house there, everyone you know is in that part of the city. And all your treasures are there. And you can't go there. So that area is blackout. And the only area where there is light is this drama where there is camel and elephant and monkey. This drama, there is lots of light. You are seeing it day in and day out, the drama, and everything else is in blackout. And you have no access to it. And so in this area of blackout is your true family, true home, true father, true treasures. But the most ridiculous is in this blackout zone is true self. You yourselves are in this blackout zone. True self. Whole of this, everything that is really matters for you is in blackout. The only area that is in light is camel, elephant, monkey, temporary drama with some cardboard masks. That is where the full light, continuous, day in and day out. How long can you stay without creating attachments in it? Especially if you are not using paras, and if you are, then you not only create attachments, you create an ego that you are that camel. This is our situation. You are creating an ego. You are camel, and camel is so virtuous, and everyone likes camel, and so good camel. Camel has got such beautiful nose, and this has become your reason for existence and idea of progress and success. And no one questions the universities and all this is going on here in this world. So they're getting prizes and PhDs. No one questioning this. Life is going on within that camel and elephant world with full delusion, under the spell. So what Baba is telling here, look at this, there is this scandal, big scandal. There is the real world here and real you and your real father, real treasures. You have to first discover this. Everything else is later. Don't worry too much about this. People criticizing the nose of the camel. First, wake up to this. So this is like a dotted line we showed of ignorance. So you are making effort now to get on the other side of the line. And so we need this absolute precondition to use paras. Without paras, you can't even have concept of the bigger map. You don't even know that city exists. So you are using paras to even to grasp the concept. And as you are shining light here, just you are waking up. Okay, this is a story. Camel, elephant is a story. This is like creating light. There is a real actor here behind this. Oh, that, and you forget. You are back into the camel world. You are start thinking why some elephant is doing this, but you are creating these seconds, minutes coming back. These are precious seconds, and there is no limit to this. We say 1 minute, 4 minutes, 3 minutes, but we have to get into the hobby about this. Baba wants us to create hours, 8 hours, and why 8 hours? We should be in that awake state naturally. It should be the natural normal. But we start, and process is of enjoyment. Even 1 minute, the soul wakes up. He enjoys the sky, enjoys the earth. If he now enjoying the story of camel, elephant, monkey, as it comes, it is not a long process. That ignorance of desire, freedom from desire, it is not a long process. You wake up and you discover that is a story, and how bizarre to create desires in that story. What does it matter? You are free from that ego-based desire feelings. That Ravan is already becoming small. Just 10 seconds you are experiencing Ravan is becoming smaller. The more light you create, ego gets smaller. So you are playing with this, you are seeing others as souls, understanding that this is all from the same family. You are remembering the father, that is, you are waking up. It is like coming back to awareness. Someone who was unconscious becomes conscious again, and there is happiness of this whole dimension. And we said, as you are creating light in this dimension, you are helping yourselves in a big way, but you are helping others. Because in that city where there is a blackout, you are bringing light. Your attention has so much value. And it is highest karma also on that front. Intelligent intervention, because now you are understanding. We all are social. We want to help others in a small city like Cambridge with 140,000 population. We got more than 1,000 charity organizations. Get an idea, voluntary organizations. So some are for animals, some are for stray cats, some are for stray dogs. But can you imagine more than 1,000 voluntary organizations? Huge file. If there is a organization here dealing with huge file, so many organizations dealing with so many things. We all want to give benefit to others. We are social. We are kind, loving people. But we help others to the level where we are at. If we are ourselves in the delusion, we work from that level. If you come out of this spell, your benefit is strategic. You help others, take them out of that spell. It is literally someone discovers the prince. He was thinking he's a beggar. Now he discovers he's an eternal prince. It is a bit like that. That's why it's a huge karma. Golden age is established by this kind of shift. That little more technology in that camel world, that is not going to create golden age. In fact, more we just keep this going, life. Not anything bad. We got technology, we got food, Now we got vaccine. Life is okay. Why we have to change too much? No, what happens is Ravan is getting bigger. We are never static. Either we are going up or we are going down. So this what appears to be an ordinary, happy community, society. Underneath, Ravan in everyone is getting bigger, including ourselves. Just as we breathe and drink and eat, Ravan is getting commission somewhere. And so as Ravan gets bigger, the world will become just more of a hell. It is like moving into another drop. And so that is not an answer. We need to understand. Paras means you are seeing not just now, you are seeing of tomorrow, what is going to happen tomorrow, seeing of the future. And so, beautiful answer. Let us get out of this mess, create paras, and create light, and and discover the big truth of everyone and yourselves. This is what yoga is. Yoga is just this. As fun, as hobby, you are using this best apparatus, intellect, and and experiencing this. It is not visualization, it is not imagination, it is not just a concept. If it starts from the soul, it becomes an experience. You feel that there is an intoxication coming from that. If it is just visualization, there will not be feelings. Intoxication won't be there. But we have to start the process wherever we are. And once we start, in Baba's words, start in a gross way, but let it be beyond the story at least. And Paras will become more refined. And as Paras becomes more refined, experiences will be easier and they will last. They will be more stable. As the muscles become stronger, then you can run marathon. First day you cannot. Now one aspect I want to add here. In our language, you might have noticed, during the meditation time, we are avoiding the letter I. That is one thing you might have noticed. And that is the reason why we avoid the letter I. And what is the reason? Let us come back to our situation. Here is a camel, and here is an elephant. Let us say here is an elephant, and here is a monkey. And so during our stone intellect phase, Iron Age phase, we have created an ego based on the camel. Ego is created. I am nice, kind camel. Then you're completely forgotten about the soul. So this I, when each time the word I is used, you're talking about a camel. So sure. So Baba comes and says, you are not a camel, you are the soul. You are that noble angelic soul. So you agree with it, you understand this, and you are saying, yes, I am a soul. So this statement you are making, is that Maya in this sentence? I am a soul. Who thinks there is Maya in this sentence? You can raise your hands. There is Maya. Who feels there is a Maya in this sentence? Okay, I say there is a Maya in this sentence. And what is the Maya? For a long time, for you, the letter I means camel. That is so entrenched for you. So when you are saying, I am a soul, this message is given to you. Baba is telling you this so that you come out of the camel identity and you come in the soul identity. That's why the message is given to you. That is the only reason. You should come out of this thinking camel and you should come into the soul. But now, what is happening? When you are using the word I am a soul, for you, I means, you say, I, yes, sure, camel, kind camel, and I, the camel with a beautiful nose, yes, am a soul. So you are not compromising the identity of the camel. That is so entrenched. That is taken for granted. So you conscious and subconsciously, this is the way you are hearing. I'm a soul, okay. Prashant is a soul. It is a bit like that. So camel is still there, and you are just putting a label on top. You're a soul. And then life goes on. I am a soul, but identity, nothing is changing. You are still below that dotted line. You are still in that camp thinking. And on top, you are thinking camel is now spiritual. So how can we break out of this? We can be clever and turn the sentence around. And what does it mean? Start with the soul. See the soul first. And then understand that this, don't worry about the grammar. So first see the soul and then say, that is what the I is, this soul. And so you're not starting from the camel. So, what happens here? Avoid the letter I altogether in the beginning. First, use the best intellect, best sight, see the soul, see the, soul, become very objective. You are seeing this soul is like a star, sure, like a point of light, sure. It is immortal and it is from that sky, okay. It doesn't need anything from here. It sees this as a story, as a camel and elephant drama. It can see its beginning and end, sure. So you are just seeing the soul, and soul is loved by God. He's from the family of God. And this is normal for him to be like a star. That is normal. Immortality is normal. You are just seeing it. But as you are seeing it, experience is happening within you already. It is not an imagination anymore. It is not, experience is happening. And as you are doing this, you can use the letter I, but use it later. Having seen it clearly, experienced it, now you don't even need to use the letter I. New feeling comes inside. This is my true form. That makes sense. And that new I takes birth. What we want to avoid is the ego I of the camel. And as we saw before, ego is stubborn, ego is determined to survive, and ego wants to jump on this spirituality bandwagon. I'm spiritual, I'm spiritual. And that is why if you are not careful on this, then it will go in your spiritual effort will be ego based. And when it is ego based, experiences will be shallow. Ego cannot experience God. Ego is Ravan. Ravan cannot experience Ram. It is incapable. It can be a bit intellectual about it, but not experience. Sarah, want to say anything? It'll be nice.
I'm just catching up with the messages.
Sure.
Yeah, it's really this is the really key subject. So one comment from Dolly: I, the soul, a bright shining point of light. This is how I do meditation. Is that wrong? Do you have any comments?
Not meaning wrong. If we start with the soul, not with the letter I, there is no rush to use the letter I. Let us see the soul first, and then understand that the soul is I. Letter I come later. When we say I, the soul, the moment you use the letter I, first, it gets mixed with your old idea of I, consciously, subconsciously, and it reduces the depth of experience. Something to try, right or wrong, I'm not meaning, but once you experiment with this, it will help you, to refine the method.
And a nice acknowledgement from Sandhya. She says, in Hindi, it's right, the right way round. I don't know Hindi pronunciation. Atma Hume.
Sure.
Can
Yeah,
expand on.
but in all cultures, we still need to be careful. With you, with me, today it may be right, tomorrow, because ego is determined to survive. So ego will find a way. And that's why to keep it clean, this is what our aim is. See the soul clean, unpolluted by camel. Why we are using this image of camel, elephant, monkey, so that we see clear distinction. Otherwise, if it becomes very fuzzy, the distinction is fuzzy, we will mix it. So we say soul, but we are mixing with drama. And when you mix, the experience will become less because ego comes.
Yes. There's a comment from the Chinese group from Kong. Do you feel your spiritual growth and progress are also ego?
Ego can use anything. People create ego based on their dog. They create ego based on their shoes, based on their cooking. They create ego based on their illness also, that they got such serious illness, they can create ego based on it. Ravan is desperate and can go to any level. So no surprise, he will create ego based on your spiritual efforts, based on your virtues. If we have to presume ego will come, our success is in spotting the robber in the early stage. There is no success in denial. Being in denial, there is not a cleverness in it, because ego will just grow bigger.
And that's really the point that Sue wanted to expand on, I think. How do you truly know when ego is taking part in your meditations and in service? What does spiritual ego feel like for the soul? How can you detect it?
Instead of detecting the ego, first get the experience of clean soul awareness. And in fact, that is the answer. Because once you create a clean reference, then you will spot the early form of the ego. And in the clean form of soul awareness, start from that sky and understand this star that is immortal and that is from the sky, the invisible presence. He is the invisible traveler. He as if doesn't know anyone in the camel and elephant drama. He doesn't know Prashant, doesn't want to know anyone. His world is God and his world is the sky. See that cleanliness of the soul. And his roots are there. He's not from one town or one country. His roots are the sky. See that clean perspective of the soul. So once you have seen that, then when it is mixed, you will be able to spot it early. Ego doesn't come as a me, not in that big form of arrogance, but you mix it. You say soul, but as if soul is something to do with the camel. But it is a nice camel. He has done this action. Once you mix it, the spiritual experiences become weaker. That's why we want to keep it clean.
Yes, that's helpful. Pedro was asking, when you have a deep spiritual experience and then later there is a blackout, why does that occur and how to recover it?
Sure. And the only reason we lose those experiences when we cross the line. The only challenge for us, as we said, is this glitter from this camel and monkey drama. One day one kind of glitter comes, another day some cake comes, third day someone is singing a song. So that is going on in that monkey drama. How much are you able to understand it for what it is and not lose the sky? Yeah. So someone will come to praise you for your spiritual efforts. Someone will come to, first they will try to praise your shoes. If it doesn't work, the praise will get stepped up. So if one is patthar, then one song is enough, is out of the ring. But if you are using paras, they may have to praise your spiritual efforts or some wonderful actions you have done. But what is your price? If you cross the line, then the spiritual experiences come to a halt. Then they are ego-based experiences. But how to recover? That is the question. We anytime start the program we have mentioned just now. We have to do this repeatedly all the time. Use the best apparatus. And I'm using this word apparatus, just like any scientist, those who got the best apparatus, they can get the best results. So if you got this best intellect, best sight, best light, use it. And that takes you straight out of this camel elephant world. Otherwise, with the mixed intellect, people are dangling in it. And they are making spiritual effort, but with a mixed intellect, it becomes all mixed. They're trying to make the camel virtuous. That becomes their idea of spiritual effort.
I think this Maya of trying to improve stone intellect to lead to Paris intellect. Marla was asking, starting as the observer, observing itself, appears to change the perspective of the drama, however fleeting. Would that be one of the starting points?
Observer, mind to repeat the first part?
He said, starting as the observer, observing itself, appears to change the perspective of the drama, however fleeting.
Observing itself. See clearly, not to, observing oneself, no. You are either observing the camel. Camel is not yourself. Camel is a different thing. So when we are seeing in Paras, you are seeing the observer is completely different to camel. And you may be acting the part of camel, but that is not yourself. It's so even for a few minutes, see that clear independence of the soul. That is what brings experiences. The only reason experiences are blocked because of this mixture. Whole world is mixed in some form, and then they have crossed the line. They use the word I, they say soul, soul, but they are meaning camel. And then they have crossed the line. So here he's saying there is a camel there. So Prashant is no different to camel in a little drama. That is a part, in the little drama. And the invisible soul is the observer of this drama. And that invisible soul is so subtle, like a point. But it is with amazing amazement we are seeing that tiny point. He is the invisible traveler. He is the actor. He is the one who is loved by God. It's so amazing. But that is what we are trying to grasp. Yesterday we emphasized quality. This is where you can work on quality. Just getting this separation right, and then the experiences will be easier. Even for a few minutes, get it very clear that role is different and the soul is completely different. Our aim is not to make the role holy. That it is good, holy is good, but that is not our destination. Our destination is to get the soul alive. That is our aim.
Sheila's asking, so who are the invisible traveler and observer in our meditations?
Souls. Souls are the invisible travelers. Soul. Invisible soul is the invisible observer. Invisible soul is the invisible actor. Acting the part, but not the role. And so understands complete independence of the drama from their world. That's why they are not affected by anything that happens in the drama.
Do you like any more questions?
Yes, sure.
Well, there's one about in the context of not crossing the line of ignorance, what is meant by the Karmatit soul from Mira?
Karmatit soul is one who has got no possibility of the ego. So ego, even in its all forms, is gone. Ignorance is gone. So there is no chance of being deceived. We said earlier, someone just with a song, he crosses the line. Someone who prays the shoes, he's crossing the line. So that means there is weakness there. Karmatit is godlike. He's so clear about this amazing drama. It's full of glitter and gold, but for him it is not worth a penny. He needs nothing from that. This drama made of gold even, but for him it is a drama. He is awake to his reality beyond. Celestial celebration is his life. And so that is karmatit, no possibility of being deceived. It is a big final destination, but we start with the first step. I'll tell you another nice image. I heard this in Madhuban, and the image was a blind man is trying to catch a black cat in a dark room. So this image was, there are obstacles. There is if you come out of, if the black cat is not black, it is white, but the room is dark. Even if the room you create light, then the person is blind. So there are few obstacles, and we have to deal with all these obstacles to really solve the problem. So in our case, we are in this camel and elephant world, and there is an obstacle. What is the obstacle? Maya is coming to with full force. New kind of glitter is coming, new kinds of cakes, and then intellect is not paras. Dominant intellect is pathar. It is not even seeing that there is a problem. In the sight, it is not incapable of seeing what is beyond. So focused in the gross things. And then scientists are saying there is nothing else, just this camel is all that exists. We can only see these things under their microscopes. So there are obstacles from many levels, and you have to overcome the black cat, the dark room, and the blind man. You have to come out of this to discover your sky and celestial truth, and come in the celebration. It is fun. It is just like any game. You have to solve the riddles, solve the difficulties to get a prize. Happy if you want to create rooms, but happy to take after the rooms we can take more questions.
Okay, that's great. So let's take the break now, and we just like to ask you to coordinate. Maybe one person can take the initiative and allow others to share. And Prashant would like to give a focus for the discussion.
The big success for us is how to come in the spiritual experiences And we are seeing here the clear connection, of bypassing the ego. We will become free from ego in its own time, but at the moment we can bypass the ego and discuss how we can do this, and in what way ego can trick us into going for the second prize and not the first prize. To understand that.
Yes, to get spiritual experiences, we need to spot the robber, as in the ego, and then find this bypass. Very interesting subject. So look forward to hearing back from you, your insights from the discussion. See you in around 10 minutes. Thank you. Warm welcome back. Let's take a pause to reflect. We'll share some slides. Welcome back. And would like to see if Konstantina is with us and would like to share. Konstantina has been studying the spiritual knowledge of Brahma Kumaris for some time and is also experienced with a background in psychology. So would be very interesting to hear your thoughts, what comes up for you.
Hi everyone. Yeah, it's an interesting subject, and in our group we were talking about how it's so easy to be triggered, ego to be triggered and react to things that are happening in the drama. And we were saying that sometimes that's even, another indication or sign that knowledge still is on an intellectual level and it hasn't become experiential. And of course, the subjects of bringing light into darkness is so important because really it involves coming out of ignorance of two things, I think. One is who we are, and the other one is where we belong. And I think that as our amnesia, if you like, or the blackout, as Prasanth put it, grows, so is our identification with our external roles. And of course, the more of that is happening, the more insecure we feel, which means that the deeper our attachment to the drama or the external world will become. So we are really caught up in these vicious cycles that is quite difficult to break away from. And it's interesting also how ego can sabotage our spiritual efforts. And for me, I suppose it's important, that bit about understanding that it's not about improving Konstantina, it's not about improving the role. It's not about making my life better. That's not the aim. It's about awakening to who I am. So I don't know, recently I was thinking it's not about improving, it's about removing, actually. It's about removing all the obstacles that get in the way of helping me to experience who I really am. And one is the false identification with the role. But the other also is believing that the play on the stage is where my life is. So we need to work on these two different levels. One is we need to obviously separate ourselves from the role. And the other ones, we need to obviously increase our connection with where we really belong. And that's where the experience becomes so important. And I think sometimes, we say homework is so important. Unless this experience, not the knowledge, but the experience of being in the soul awareness and in the soul world becomes firm, I think we're always going to be vulnerable and fragile to all the tricks that ego will play with us. And also I was thinking, I'm not sure how relevant it is, but I was thinking something that Prasanth has said when I first did the 7 days training, the Sanjeevani one, that he used the analogy of having a plant, and it's so important to water the plant and look after the plant. But the plant in this physical world, if you like, is irrelevant to who we really are. And if we start identifying with with the plant, then everything, any comments that anyone will say, anything, whether it's a praise or is it a criticism about the plant, it will affect us on a personal level. And I think that's what has happened here, you know, we have identified with the role. So, and we have forgotten who we really are. So anything then can really affect us. So yeah, these were some of my thoughts. Om Shanti.
Thank you, Constantina, and some nice comments. It's helpful, and this plant analogy, the camel analogy, it's all creating more light, more, of course, helplessly when we're getting caught up in the role. All these emotions are understandably going to be there. Let's hear from Belinda. I know you've been reflecting on this point about the link between identification and attachments, but it'd be nice to hear what you'd like to share today.
Thank you. Hello. Well, so many thoughts from today, but you know, this aspect of the word "I." It's been so helpful just to experiment with dropping the word "I," especially in meditation. In everyday life, not always possible. But certainly in our own reflection and practice, just to drop it completely, although for some of us, in a way, that's what we're used to. We're used to thinking about I, the soul, as has been said. But you know, really to encourage experimenting with this. And we have good examples in the Brahma Kumaris of very senior yogis. And we know that in our interactions with them, they avoided the use of the word I. And we never thought it was strange. But now we really understand why that deep practice was there. And the other thing that I was remembering when I saw the image of the camel with the wings and the halo, which really made me laugh, is how important humor is in this practice. That one thing ego really doesn't like, and that is to be laughed at. And so when we see the ego, instead of Maya's reaction would be to feel bad, to feel guilty. Oh no, that's ego again. But just to laugh and say, my goodness, how cunning is this ego, and make it small immediately. And also the point that Prashant made is time and time again, come back to that clean start. And this is really where the momentum will come and success will come. And the successes may seem small, but any success, when we have such a strong enemy, any success is a great success. Thank you.
Thank you. Celebrating the success, and it's not just for the self, it's something we can help others and be victorious for this race of souls which are independent from camels. And so welcome back, everyone, and thank you for your sharing some insights and reflections in the chat. Feel free to share. Welcome back to Prashant.
I'm going to read a short passage, something that we read this morning in our gathering. It may be nice to send a poll. How many have heard today's Murli? That is a poll question. So if you have already heard this, you will get just a quick revision. Nice to, if I'm using the board again, nice to remind that the position is this. If you are conscious, then you know you got a best. You got a best home. You got a best father. Highest. We are talking about God as a father. You got a best family. So there are a few words that will be your experience as a yogi. I will write these words here. You will feel his world is complete. He's not lacking anything. It doesn't need anything from the story. So it is complete. He lacks nothing and he misses nothing. He feels his world is perfect. Every aspect is just right. And in the family, they are all viceless, egoless. Everyone is perfect. And drama, copper age, iron age, whatever is happening in front, that's the drama. So you don't say why camel is like, it should be like elephant. No, camel is like camel and elephant is like elephant. So he feels the world is perfect all around. He feels everything is full. He's blissful, loveful. It is full. And his world is beautiful. All at a alaukic level. He's not talking about camel and elephant. He feels every aspect is beautiful at this level. It is complete at that level. He feels, we use the word best. He feels he is lucky. Feeling, these are the feelings of a soul that is conscious. Why not? He got God and he got such a immortality, the home and perfection. Mind is happy. So he feeling is lucky. He knows everyone else is lucky. He knows that his world is of love. Everyone is loving and lovely. This is his reality. And no one can change this. He knows he's beyond harm. Story cannot harm him. The only thing that exists outside of this, his eternal reality, is the story. And the story can never harm anyone. If you're watching a film, there can be tidal waves in it, war, but it is harmless. So he knows his world is, his reality is beyond harm. His yoga is with success because he knows the final score. Final score is everyone will reach here, and everyone is the best. And he knows the truth. And once you know the truth, whether for yourself or for everyone else, he knows that this is the destiny and we are going in that direction. So the truth is, he knows the success is guaranteed. And so he's not operating with any doubt in this. He knows of his own, immortality. all round immortality. He knows the whole scene is eternal. So if the soul is conscious, these are the flavors, feelings that come to him. That he is lucky. That summarizes many things. He is lucky. His world is of love. And it is not fluctuating love. Today there is love, tomorrow something else. No, love is, everyone is lovely. Full stop. Forever. It's, every aspect is full. He got everything the best. And it is complete and beautiful, beyond harm, success. And now he sees the story. He's not going in the story as a beggar, and he's never a victim. For him, story is a nice entertainment, sightseeing. So these words that we are listening, Baba is playing with the two words, they are Hindi words. One word is prapti, means attainments, and tripti is contentment. Just play of words. Means one who has attainments, he feels content. But attainments and contentment is based on the sky. So here, they never feel themselves to be lacking anything in any situation. In the drama, there can be some war going on, but they don't feel they are lacking anything in any situation. So their speciality is tripti, contentment. Where there is attainment, there is definitely contentment. If you are not content, then something is definitely lacking in your attainment. And where there is no attainment, something is also missing in your experiencing your truth. So the three signs are first experience, expanding on it, experience your sky, attainment, and satisfaction. A constantly satisfied soul, tripta atma. Now comes, in the drama, whatever the time, whether it is golden age, iron age, whatever the time, whatever the atmosphere, whatever the facilities, means they are working, they are not working, or companions in your life, people, in every situation, in every activity, he will always remain content. You are such yogis, are you not? A content soul will never have any limited desires. If you look, there is a minority of such content souls. In one situation or other, there is some hunger for respect or for fame. Someone who is hungry can never experience contentment. Those whose stomachs are always full remain content. So just as the body is hungry for food, similarly the mind is hungry for name, fame, favors, facilities. It is hungry. It is the hunger of the mind. So just as those who are physically content experiences that satisfaction, truth. In the same way, those whose minds are satisfied, fulfilled, they will experience that contentment. Contentment is a sign of being fulfilled. If a soul is not fulfilled but is hungry, physically or mentally, then no matter how much he receives, even though he may receive a great deal, because of not being fulfilled, he would always be dissatisfied. There would be discontentment. Those who are royal are satisfied, spiritually royal. They are satisfied even with a little. The sign of royal souls is that they will constantly feel full. They would be satisfied with even one chapati, means a piece of bread, or with 36 varieties of food. However, those who are unfulfilled will not be satisfied even if you give them 36 varieties of food, because their hunger is in their minds. The sign of a true lover of God is that he is constantly content. So check these three signs: experience, attainment, and contentment. Yes, and so we're happy to come to questions, comments.
Feels like some questions may have been answered with this. One question was the sign of doing well in service and not as a camel. Seems very clear.
If I'm to emphasize the yoga, from first minute, it is not a long process, and then finally you will experience contentment. First minute that you are practicing, and go for this experience. Soul wakes up. It is like a prince waking up, and he discovers that his world is. He was not awake. Now he has woken up. His world is complete, perfect, eternal, full, beautiful. Everyone is good. Everything is good. Family, other, everything best. He's lucky. He is not a beggar. He never need to be discontented. So mind is full. So that is what Baba is emphasizing here. If mind is fulfilled, then no matter what the atmosphere is, what people do, internally you are royal. This is what our yoga life is. Over the 3 days, just underline this to 1 minute, this experience, that this is what yoga is. To experience that spiritual royalty implied fullness in every aspect, in every relationship. Yeah.
Yeah. There was a question from Ada a little earlier. She says, when you've already experienced who you really are, and you remember the home and God, which is different from the camel world, but what if the memory does not allow you to be alive again? I guess she means the memory of the camel, to take this analogy, the camel world. how can you be alive again, even for moments? Is it by making Paris strong? Is that how you achieve it?
Yes, the answer is true. Because Patthar makes, our default mode is Patthar. Everyone is 100% of the population all the time using Patthar. And Patthar makes the petty things here in the camel world big. And once you have made big, you are stuck. With questions and why you are worried about something, you are thinking about something of the past. That is even 1 minute spent there. It is like it is feeding Ravan further. So it becomes another the direction altogether. Change the direction in first second. Use the best apparatus. This is our absolute program. When in doubt, just check and change. Bring the best apparatus. Get out of the mess. And experience. And solve it from there. Having got that bigger, as we are saying here, once you have experienced your fullness and perfection, then come and let us solve it. But it is not a beggar who is solving it. It is you are approaching it from your royalty.
It's a very helpful image and reference point. One aspect is to get into that the consciousness of the soul that is royal, and the other thing is to protect it. And a question earlier from Shyam, is it ego when you feel happy after having been in the experience? So it'd be nice to hear a bit about, it may be true experience, but the ego that can come and take commission and method to keep it clean.
And not necessarily the recent ego, but the old ego that are there, they are more dominant. The ego that are created over many births, they are still there. And they want to go back and think about some petty things, why someone criticized your cat or something like this. So that tendency will be there. But that is okay. All of this becomes smaller and smaller. They all will shrink as you go on counting the positive. You go on clocking in on the time with your positive score. Know that it will happen. To have that constant state is karmatit. Until then, things will be, you will be drawn back again in the drama, but fly again.
Yoga with the positive score. It's nice. Anita asked a little earlier, would you like to expand a bit on how to do service through the mind, or its Mansa Seva?
Sure. Each time you are experiencing the sky, we are using the word sky. You know what we are talking about. You are experiencing that supreme reality, perfection of the true self, perfection of everyone else. All our souls, all are incorporeal. You are seeing they are loved by God. They are worthy to be loved by God. You are seeing their immortality. You are seeing their greatness. This is true. Right? This is exactly the reality. This is the way Father says. There is a drama. In the drama, someone may play the part of a dictator or something, all parts. But all souls are angelic and all souls are lovely, loved by God, worthy to be loved. They are our brothers. you are coming to that truth, seeing that truth. The conscious soul is seeing it. That is a nice word for that, lighthouse effect. It is like a global. You are seeing everyone, you are shining light in this area. Ordinarily there is blackout, so your attention is like light. This is the big thing. But today, if you heard the blessing, Baba is thinking about local. Say, person you know. Right now we can experiment with this. Just think of a person that you know. It can be a contact person, some friend, and okay, you're just thinking of that person right now. And yesterday we said, your mind goes there. Just like your hand can poke some person, the same way you think of a person, mind goes there. But now what you are doing, you are understanding behind that part is the soul. There is a camel, an elephant, that is a part. And behind that part is the invisible actor. And the invisible actor is the same soul that you saw in the sky, godlike and angelic and immortal. You are seeing that greatness, but also you are seeing that everything is good, is secure, immortal. So he never has illness, or he never dies even. He doesn't need to worry about corona, vaccination. He is immortal. You are just seeing this wonder of the soul behind. You may create just 10 seconds. That those 10 seconds are like creating light. This is all very simple. Something that is obvious. You are just seeing this, what already exists. And if you are shining light, it is like shining torch, then he can see it also. Otherwise, in the blackout, everything is wonderful, but they can't even see it. You are seeing it. That make it easy for him to see it. Don't get stuck with 10 seconds, then enough for the day. If you get stuck with the one, it also, meaning there is some obsession there. It can be ego-based.
I like this analogy you've given, where it's like you send an email and it's been sent. It just depends when they open it in the inbox. So service through the mind, one can be in that space of the soul awake, seeing the other soul, and it depends when they receive it. But you don't need to hang around.
Yes, excellent. Yeah, this is more reliable than even email. Email can sometimes go in some junk box or something, but this will reliably reach there.
Yes, we know a lot about junk box, unfortunately. Would you like another final question? I know that we're coming to time, but
sure.
Sometimes the feeling of having wanting to not lose any more time. So there has maybe been a feeling there's been a lot of time spent in confusion of, say, ego, or thinking one is the role. Is there a way to catch up on that, or is this consciousness itself removing that feeling of the regret or remorse that can come from either life of ego or even ego-based spiritual effort?
Whatever it is, these feelings pass, remaining busy now and going for the quality now. and stopping waste. Lots of our time and mind can still be used by Ravan and ordinariness. Uh, Paying some attention on those fronts, that will be a big success. I might also underline wonderful help by keeping a chart. And those who are interested, we got a program called Sadhana program. 4 hours of the day, you are keeping a chart and just creating a structure. By keeping this chart, you are observing what you are doing with your mind. Just during those 4 hours. And if you are careful about it, then your rest of the day also will become richer. So those who are interested in this, don't want to waste any more time, I might encourage you to find out more about the Sadhana 4 project program. And it gives a nice structure. 4 hours program.
There'll be a lot of interest in that. Yes, it's so useful to have a method of tracking and just the habit to create the sanskar of checking and then starting to build step by step. So do you have, yeah, we'll send the information out. Also, we just want to mention, unless Prashant, did you want to have any final reflections before we give some announcements?
One simple thing. 1 minute, just 1 minute of quality. Let that be our slogan. We can only make effort in the present. We don't just live in the present, but in the present, let make it elevated, noble, the best. We understand what that best is. This minute, let us make it quality. This is like a simple slogan. 1 minute of quality. And then whenever you are remembering, let me make this minute special. And we are coming in the truth. We don't just say the superficially positive thoughts, but our emphasis is coming in the truth. That is the foundation. That creates quality. And then quality and quantity, both are taken care of. Yeah, all the best. Thank you.
Thank you for that. And simple slogans are great to hold in the mind through the day, to accumulate the power to get Paris back. Lots of appreciation and gratitude also to the team and the translators. The next retreat will be giving information on email, but as was mentioned, it's not as reliable as your service through the mind. So please do check your junk. And it's 22nd to 24th of January. It's on self-sovereignty. And Brahmins and those who completed Sanjeevani retreat are very welcome. And for the questions we didn't manage to get to, we'll be creating an audio recording and putting it in the G Drive and send you the link by email as well. So I think that's everything, and we're going to finish with a short drill. And we wish you a very beautiful season of peace, and we'll stay in touch. Om Shanti. Thank you.
अपने कर निराकार रूप में चलना, फिर देवता बन जाना।